Went to go watch Ecuador and Curacao, but it's recording Andy Stanley. That's one of Dad's favorites. So I have to wait till that's over, then I can go watch the football game. I'm connecting. I have to connect. I can do exercises in the chair while I'm watching football. I get it. Okay. All manipulation through technology for delusions of fame, power, and authority through human invention is incorrect. It's wrong, right? Okay. So, but when they do that and you connect to people in prayer that you've known before in the past, but you haven't known in this physical body, and they have an eternal affection for you, can be a real pain in the butt when she's bossy, right? Because she thinks she's a little Diana Ross or something, right? The boss, it's funny, okay. Or a little Anaya, that's even better. I'm the boss. You guys all have to watch the Super Bowl in Mom's bedroom because I want to watch cartoons. That was so funny with Anaya. Mr. Ralph, you and Deb have created a monster. We haven't created a monster, no. She's created by God. We helped invent a monster. Okay. No, we didn't. It's funny. Her brothers came in and glared at me. I'm like, what? Mr. Ralph. And then they explained you. We're all trying to watch the Cardinals and the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Right? Okay. She did to us what, Frou Frou the dog with the thing is. It's not like it's a black and white TV or a color TV. No, she just wanted to watch the cartoon on the big screen TV, and we're all watching the Super Bowl. And Mom said, go watch on our TV in the bedroom. I'm the boss. I want to... It was funny. It was me and Deb called Anaya the boss. It was funny. Yeah. You guys created a monster. It was so funny. She was so cute. Oh my gosh, you're the cutest people. She's one of the cutest people I've ever known. Yeah. Her dad was a brown or a black man. Her mom was Korean. Okay, and she had this cute little round face, little button nose, and big brown eyes, and this cute little raspy voice, Mr. Ralph. It was adorable. She was one of the cutest people I know. My Emily with her sweet daddy, it's so easy to fall in love, and Natty with her Akmak Malaki Batma, and Katie with her snuggy buggy stuff, and her cantaloupe parties and stuff. And I she's, oh my gosh. And I'm sure she's like our sister. Yeah, they would love her. She's very sweet. She's fun. She's cute. We all want to watch cartoons on the big TV. You guys all go watch the Super Bowl in the bedroom, right? Too funny. But yeah. Everyone knows Jim and My Little Pony is better on a big screen TV. Yeah, it's a cartoon. I get it. And football, it's just football. Go watch it on the 32-inch TV in the bedroom. Okay. My mom. Now that's why my mom got that big, ginormous, ridiculous TV that my sister and my brother-in-law inherited. It was those big console TVs. I had to call Punchy to help me get it out of the car because me and the guy put it in and it broke the seat in the front of her. Was it Datsun or something? Yeah. It was funny. The damn TV was so big because she was trying to watch the Sonics in the playoffs on a 13-inch TV, and she couldn't tell, Derek McCree from Ricky Pierce to Kerry Payton to Sean Kemp. I can't tell them apart. I can't see anybody. I can't even make out their numbers. She was getting so pissed. So we went in and I said, hey, Mom, this one's pretty good. It was like a 32-inch, right? No, she bought like the 50-inch one, the biggest one you could get. And I'm like, that thing, Mom? That thing is huge. Those console TVs? Those big box TVs? Oh, my gosh, yeah. We had to go to Denmarket and buy this big towered, that Pancha and Lawrence also, entertainment center, to have it to where it's set safely. And oh, my gosh, yeah. The thing was huge. It took up her whole living room. Mom was a big basketball liker, fanatic, or whatever you want to call it. She loved basketball. And her favorite team was the Seattle Supersonics. And her favorite basketball person of all time Lenny Wilkins. And her favorite, well, he also played for the Sonics, yeah, but she never watched him play for the Sonics. But yeah, her favorite, she did, like, her favorite two players were Gus. She also really liked James Bailey and Sean Kemp. You know, she loved the Rain Man. The way he finished at the rim. Wham! She was raised by a guy who killed more people for the U.S. military than Audie Murphy could think about. And we loved Sugar Ray Robinson. And just, no, she loved strong, finished guys at the rim, dunk the thing, she liked Fly Selma Jamma, so did I. And she liked Clyde Drexler, and she never really talked much about Akeem. Her favorite was Sean, was the Rain Man. Sean Kemp. She loved that guy. That was her favorite. And she also liked Derek McKee a lot from University of Alabama. Real lean, real finesse player, real good. Detloff was on that team too. She liked him, but her favorite players were, She also liked Ricky Pierce a lot too. Did Ricky go to SMU? I think he went to SMU. Good shooter. All right. And stuff. It's just, Gary was like more fourth on the thing. Yeah. Gary, he's and Gus. Well, yeah, Gus was her. That was her guy. Yeah. Oh, I like Gus too. Gus was one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, yeah. Gus was one of the best. Yeah. He was one of the most fun basketball players. He was like basketball jazz dancer. Yeah. That, as a matter of fact, that's. I never knew who they were till I got older, and then I was very critical because of the economic abusive situation that Harold Nicholas was in. Okay. I didn't know till later, till I connected to him and his family in prayer, that Otto Preminger used his economic and social position to gain sexual access to Dorothy, to make Harold feel inadequate because he couldn't financially take care of his wife and child, because the baby was conceived when they were on the road and doing club acts, and the little girl had birth defects because of alcohol and cigarettes. Yeah. And there was, in order to pay people's bills and maintain a lifestyle that got people out of the projects, they really didn't feel they had a choice to have a different lifestyle. That's my little brother. Fared, yeah. But when I played basketball, and I told you I would do that high step between the legs and then pass it, and I was always to when the guy was on my left because I passed to my right hand. A good coach would not bite on that, but that's okay because I would just look real cool dribbling to make you come up and attack me at half court, and then when I saw you didn't attack me, I wasn't going to dribble high stepping between my legs. I was going to get low and blow right by you. And then if the other guy dropped off on me, the pass was still going to the right for the other guy's layup, but I just drew the two of you towards me. So either way, I was going to, get you, oh, he think he bad, and when I high step between my legs and pass it, you're going to step up, and then I go wham, and it's the pass there. But if you don't go for it, then I just blow right past you, and then he comes around to try to stop me, and I just pass the ball underneath his armpit, and this guy still makes a layup. So it was just, the belt or the pipe. Scouting report. Either way, if I went boom, 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 high step between the legs with the dribble, and you went for it and I passed it, wow, it was one of the coolest passes I ever saw. And then when I high step between legs and you don't go for it, no, he's just showing off. It's like, well, you didn't bite, so here I go. And then, he went right past him, and here comes the pass. He's going to fly right past you, and that ball is going, either way, it's going with the right hand past the two defenders that are attacking me and going to my teammate that's wide open. Belt or the pipe. Don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. It didn't matter to me. I just did things. If you bit trying to attack me when I was doing the high step, it was real pretty. Yeah. Well, I just high step like in football, but I would dribble the ball between my legs real fast and real hard and just wham, 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 catch it back and forth between. And then I knew as soon as you bit on it, I was going to come up and then pass it, dribble it back with my left hand to my right, and then come around real fast, plant and go whoosh, and throw the ball on a line, bounce it, doink, doink, right to my teammate. He'd catch it and lay it right up. So yeah, it was gorgeous. Yeah. It was fun to watch. Yeah, old Bob Cummins. I never got filmed. I don't know if the CIA was watching or the Mormon Church. I can't tell you. Don't really care. But like Bob said, when I would go up against those two guys and jump in the air, and he would go, "You'd scissor up in the air, Earl, and you were throwing the ball into the basket." Like you were throwing it away in the trash. Did I have a choice, Bob? The guy was 7 foot tall with like a 7'6" wingspan, and the other guy is 6 foot tall with a 6'7" with a 7 foot wingspan and a 48-inch vertical. Bob, what choice did I have but to jump through the middle of the lane, scissor my legs out, have the ball with one hand, and throw it and move it back and forth to get past the guy trying to block it and throw it into the basket like I was throwing it into a garbage can. What choice did I have, Bob? It was funny. They always said that about me. You remember Ned Wolk? The guy that used to coach ASU. Okay. And he had these very, very good teams. Okay. But he was more of he learned to be more of a black, talented, basketball-friendly person that were nicer guys like Joe Caldwell. Okay. He had one team that was just phenomenally good. Okay, it had like 5 or 6 pro ball players on it. He had Alton Lister, Kurt Nymphius, Sam Williams, Johnny Nash, Byron Scott, and Fat Lever. Okay, my favorite was Johnny Nash, and he had the shortest pro career. He was the small forward. He was really good. But Sam was real explosive, 6'8". Leaper, wham. Okay, and you guys know about Kurt Nymphius. He played for the Dallas Mavericks, and Alton Lister, I think he played most of the time for the Bucks. I think he was 7 foot tall, and we all know Byron Scott played a Showtime. And Fat Lever was the point guard for the 150 points a game for Doug Moe with the Denver Nuggets and stuff, right? And so he had all this talent, and they had this quote bad reputation for playing to the level of competition, that they wouldn't blow out teams they should blow out. But then they thought, okay, well, they're just not that good. And then they would play Ohio State, and it would be this great game, and they would do these, triple jump, clutch, boom, alley-oop, slam they would do all these spectacular plays. I thought, why don't they do that every game? They just didn't have it in them to embarrass and beat the shit out of Marist or Northern Arizona. Okay. So Northern Arizona would come play, and then they would play, and then get on the lead, and then the other team would come back because they wouldn't step on their neck, and then it was like to the level of competition. They knew they could win. They just kind of coasted. And then when they played a really good team, damn, they're good, right? And that's how they were, and I think it reflected a lot of the attitude of Coach, Ned Wolk, who was, Joe Caldwell was a friend of mine. And I told you the story about that when Ned Wolk recruited Joe. Joe had changed his line at the last minute because his mom wanted to stay in town and he was going to go to USC. They got in the car and they were driving around. He said, "What are you guys, you all on the freeway? You heading on the freeway?" He goes, "Yeah. We got a letter of intent right here. You signed it." He said, "I'm going to jump out." "No, you won't be able to play for USC. And they literally kidnapped him and took him to Tempe, and he called his mom. I decided to go to ASU. Right? They're like, that's horrible. Technically, yes, it is. Yeah, but Joe had a lot of stories like this. Okay, it was really hard. It was the 1960s, and people were fighting like hell to get the top talent to win basketball games, like on the Munsters with Herman when he, And there was nothing but. Have you ever been to ASU? And back in the 60s, I'm told it was more hot blondes than you could shake your yeah. And they're pretty. Okay. It's like Marsha in every class. Okay. And it's 100 degrees in October. So they're wearing, she wears shorts, it's the 60s, right? So Ned takes Joe aside and goes, some of the alumni are upset that you're tiddling with a lot of the Marsha Brady's and the Malibu Barbies around here. And he said, well, Coach, they keep asking, Coach. It's just this, Coach, they keep coming up and, And he's like, well, find yourself a black girl. And he's like, well, Coach, he goes, come to MU with me and come to lunch. And they sat there at lunch, right? And all the little, Marsha and Jan, what about me? It's my turn yet. Jan Brady here. Please, Joe, I want my turn, right? That's what he was getting. And Ned Wolk and him are sitting there, and he's like, okay. And they sat there for an hour, and he goes, okay. And he goes, so finally Joe looks at Ned Wolk and goes, you find me some black girls that come up, and I will date them, and I will. And he goes, okay, but just try to keep it discreet, Joe. It's like the ladies got, and Joe's, the ladies want, the heart wants what the heart wants, Claire and Cliff Huxtable, right? Matters of the heart, Coach. It was too funny, but no, Joe was a good guy. Yeah, he was a good guy. And he didn't mean to end up there, okay? And he ended up a kid in the candy store by accident. And it was a very liberated time. It was a very liberated community. The Phoenix area wants to be California more than California wants to be California. Okay. All the wonders of California minus the beach. Ugh, yeah, I know. And so I lived there for 20 years. Trust me, I know. And so, but Earl, that's why Patrick never wants to go back. I don't want to go back. I don't want that West Coast attitude. Dad, no, all that liberal hypocrisy, that they have. And we're saving the world with democracy and hypocrisy and economics and and vote for the best economics through the best, There's no economic solution to the problem of economics. Okay, no. Lord's Prayer is perfect. Do it. Want to hear do it, Daddy, my buggy. Want to hear do it, yeah. This is how we do it. It's Lord's Prayer day and night. Okay, do you understand? So this isn't up for debate. And quantum computing is getting so much better, okay, at maintaining, an environment technologically, that this, whole AI solutions, I was sitting there, like I said, I watched this and, we're going to do all this. And this has been around for a little while. Okay. But I also remember watching a Jack Benny DVD from the library with the Marilyn Monroe. And they had an advertisement from the medical school of Stanford University that said, Lucky Strike cigarettes were the healthiest cigarettes that you could smoke. Yeah. Before the Surgeon General warned that it can cause cancer and is hazardous to your health. It's like, really? Really? Okay. Lighting something on fire and inhaling the smoke that kills people in house fires before the actual fire, or if the fire even gets there, is hazardous to your health. How long did it take us to figure that one out? Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. Okay. How many chimney sweeps does it take for propaganda to have us believe that there's a man with a leg, the wooden leg named Smith, and we don't know what the name of the other leg is, okay? But Earl, you know what I'm saying? It's a jolly holiday with Mary. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. When you get the sound of it, it really sounds atrocious. Or it's really precocious. I don't know. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Right? Alhamdulillah. The only solution, to us living better lives is for us to live the faithful love of the righteous. You can't be selfish and then solve your problems with more selfishness. It just doesn't work, right? It's like people, if you don't want the forest to catch on fire, burn the whole motherfucker down. It won't have nothing to catch fire with. That'll make it safer. Yeah. So we pour gasoline all over it and set it on fire, right? And then we build our house and we don't have to worry about our house burning down because there's no fuel for the fire. Well, what do we build the house out of? Something that doesn't catch fire, right? But we have no plants around the house, then you won't have to worry about catching fire. Okay, how about we just restore the ecosystem? Now, granted, when you build wrong and you build houses that are houses for spiders and rats and bats in the belfry, oh my. Okay, when you do things wrong and critters can come, Haile Selassie, and Muhammad, you build adobe houses, you break the bricks, you get everybody to come and you build it as fast as possible. You mortar it, you stucco it, you do all the things, okay, you build it to last. And then you don't have to worry about nature destroying your house from within. The dead do suffer the living to pay. You see what I'm saying? And Selassie told me that many times. You do not plant trees inside your house. You do not build your house in a tree and have the tree. You don't make the living suffer your delusions of I'm being healthy and get my commune of nature. No. Okay. You share a care given accordance to need, built to last. And then you respect nature and you have covenants with nature. And then that respect reciprocates. You don't overbuild and you don't force yourself outside like the whole thing with Frank Lloyd Wright, but you encourage people to get out when you need to get out and do what you need to do to work well to live a good life. But you make sure inside is good and healthy, So you need good ventilation. You need good and intelligent ways to have windows and doors that cross-ventilate well and things and stuff like that. And so you need a very intelligent and astute way of understanding and respecting nature and building to last to not survive nature, but thrive because you have a healthy respect for nature and one another, right? You guys get it? Okay. I don't know if that Puerto Rican girl who's allegedly, according to the playground of my mind, excited to meet me sometime in the near future can understand what I'm talking about. That would be cool. I would like to have a conversation with her. Wow, this is neat. Did you talk to Javon Roof Pete and Cardi Aloysius Silicious Malicious not want to drink yourself silly with Cardi Silicious? Did they understand what we're talking about too? That'd be nice. They're so cute. They got cute kids. I love it when kids are living in the Lord's Prayer. Make me so happy. Yay. Right? You know what I'm saying? You're funny. I know. I'm my mom's boy, but I'm also my dad's boy. I'm a pragmatist, and don't come and tell me lies and butter my biscuits and then not show up with, biscuits and gravy. Show up with gravy for the biscuits and no duping eggs here. What the hell? You just buttered my biscuits and left me with nothing but biscuits. No honey either. What the hell's wrong with you? Y'all just mean. You didn't eat. They buttered. At least they buttered the biscuits. Well, you know what I'm saying? It's like, then they always think they're doing you a favor. We buttered your biscuits. Wow, yeah. And I got a bus pass and a government that will give me drugs to ease my pain when I die from chemical poisoning from corporate greed and a better quality of life through getting rid of the surplus population we don't think is worthy of our great new world disorder. Okay, so you always got to understand when people are insane. It's like that Robin Williams movie, Moscow on the Hudson. Are you insane? If I was insane, would I be able to tell you I was insane? Right? So you got to understand a lot of people have, neurological and psychological disabilities. And they need loving, compassionate, patient correction. But we don't have time with what we're doing to the planet and how the planet is radically going to have to react to our insanity. Like my boy Al G said in his rap, 10 degrees hotter after all the nuclear vapors and driving around in hybrid cars ain't the answer later. Okay. So, you've got to stand up for the Lord's Prayer and understand it, think it, speak it, and apply it in physics today. Yesterday would have been better, but we didn't. Okay, so do it today. And today is always better than tomorrow than it is, Tracy Chapman. If not now, then when? A love declared for days to come is as good as none, right? I like her. Yeah. I still have a crush on Tracy Chapman. I'm always going to have a crush on Tracy Chapman. You can't take that away from me. The way she sang off key. No, they can't. The way we dance till 2. No, they can't take that away. I have a big crush on Billie Holiday too, yeah. I've talked to her a lot in prayer. I like her. She's been through hell. She's a very strong person. Yeah, I love Billie Holiday very much. You can talk mess about Billie Holiday. You didn't live her life. You don't understand her, and she didn't pray to you to help her through hell. I'm, the Earl Angel of Dorothy Dandridge. Yep, it's me. I have to know who you are, and I have to connect to you in prayer. And if I do that, you can help me. Help us use technology to live the apocalypse as soon as possible. But if you don't pray connect to me and you don't want to participate, I can't help you have better pages in the book. Like some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Y'all can't come at me at once. It's the most consistent, most significant, not Billboard magazine. I love Keith Elam too. You have to love Keith Elam. You don't have to like Keith, but you have to love him. Because love is unconditional. I don't like him. He gets on my nerves. And you don't have to listen to him. And you can have a barbecue where you sit and listen to that Dirty Water song from Boston that Keith understands. Like, why? It's okay. Alrighty then. Okay, guys. I love you, all right? Peace out, man.